Here today interviewing Charles Werneth, a second-year photography student at SFCC. And Charles, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Charles Werneth. I've been going to SFCC for a while now. I'm here to talk about my slideshow I did in Ira's class.
Charles, how did you decide what images were needed to illustrate the poem?
Well, I know I needed images that showed the fun part of Spokane, where we live, the magical part. You know, when everyone's a kid and you feel like everything's so magical and new. I knew I needed that, so I chose certain landmarks that a lot of people knew, from the clock tower and stuff. Beautiful things. But then I knew that I needed more gritty stuff, a little darker, kind of dirty. And so I went to those parts of Spokane and captured those images.
All right, Charles, did you have to acquire new skills in order to produce this slideshow?
Yes, I actually had to learn how to do street photography pretty well. Things happen so much quicker when you're not posing people and it's just out on the street. You don't have a second to capture that moment. And that's a tough skill to master. Pretty much you got to be in the right place at the right time, but you really have to be looking for these opportunities. That's one skill I had to learn to complete this project.
There was a lot of hurdles that you had to overcome during this process on a personal level. Can you share some of that?
One of the major factors would be my PTSD. You know, being around large groups was very difficult, and going around downtown, you know, in the middle of the day, there's a lot of people about. It was stressful. It was kind of difficult. That's definitely a large hurdle I had to get over. I wouldn't say that I'm still over it, but you have to do what you have to do to get the shots, and that was the main one I had to get past.
And were there any challenges also with lighting?
Yes, I would say since you have the dark alleyways and then you have the bright sun on the ends of the alleys, it makes it pretty difficult to capture what you want. You really have to position yourself right and be looking for the opportunities to capture the moment in the right lighting.
And as far as the innovation that you used to make this something different than you've ever done before, what kind of new concepts did you introduce?
Well, I think the poem actually helped me a lot. It gave me a lot of ideas and a clear understanding of what I should be looking for. And, you know, I usually don't do a lot of street photography or more personal work with people that I don't know. But going through the poem and understanding what I need to capture, it helped open my eyes to things that were around me the whole time that I didn't see before.
What connections did you make between the words and images?
Well, when I was younger, I too was, you know, taken back by all the wonderful beauty of Spokane, and everything's kind of magical when you're young, and there's not so many, you know, bad things don't really exist at that age. You're just happy, and but then as I got older, I started to see, you know, not just like the bad parts of Spokane or the dirty, gritty parts, but like in life in general. And I guess subconsciously, my photography it took me to that place where I could just capture the words of the poem, because I was in that situation myself. I know exactly what the poem means.
What kind of symbolism, if any, did you discover in this process?
Well, in a few of the shots, I have a few like tunnel shots, and the tunnels are really dark, and they're almost sad. But at the other end, you know, it's so bright, and you can see other people on the end, in a way, it's kind of like if you can get to the end of the tunnel, you'll be okay. And in life, you know, that happens all the time. If you can just get through that one part of your life that's holding you back, you know, things turn out good in the end. And really, I think that shows a lot in this slideshow.